So to all the Patreon members, all the supporters, all the subscribers, I want to thank you guys for your support and your contributions made to the platform. It really means a lot to me. If you guys are tuning in right now, forgive me. 7 to 8 minutes late. I apologize. If you hear my voice, you can hear that it's getting better. I'm not 100%. I think I'm about 80, 85%. But you get my voice is clearing up, it's getting better. But if it starts to go out or if I sound stuffy, I'm still a tad bit under the weather. So forgive me. You guys can do me a favor, check out the links in the description box below for the Patreon page, the Facebook page. All right. Join the Facebook page, other like minded brothers who are sharing their experiences, articles, pictures, videos, you name it. All right. Um, and that's about it. I think I might post a Patreon page later on today. We're always posting on the Facebook page with the Patreon. I might post something later on tonight. All right. I have an article right here. I got two articles. It's the same topic. Just one's a little bit more in deep. It goes a little bit more in depth, has a little bit more details, more pictures. All right. So on the thumbnail, you see split pictures. Really, two incidents happen in the Patong area, right? Two incidents happen on the same road, but they're not linked together. It's kind of confusing. All right. Now, if you don't know, Patong is in Phuket. It's on like the southeastern side of Phuket. I've never actually been to Patong. You know, out of the many years I lived in Thailand, I never went over to Phuket. All right. I don't know why. It's because, when I went to Chiang Mai, it's because I had to go to the ESL class. Right. When I went to Pattaya, it's because it was there and I was visiting friends. It's not that far away from Bangkok. Bangkok, of course, biggest city in Thailand, a lot of the resources, but anywhere else I had to go in Thailand outside of that is because I had to go. All right. Phuket seemed like, they had really nice beaches. I've heard some good and some bad things about it. But for whatever reason, I felt like it was just out the way. Like if I'm in Bangkok, I didn't feel the need to go anywhere else for whatever reason. And I think that's one of my biggest regrets. I could have taken out a weekend to just book the cheap flight to go over there to see how it was and come back with a review. But for whatever reason, I was just too lazy, too stubborn to go. But on the thumbnail, it's two different incidents that happened on the same road. Right. And it involves fighting. And I'm going to give my 2 cents on, foreigners and the imagery of foreigners fighting overseas. And what does that do to your image and the dangers that happen behind you fighting each other and fighting the public? Okay. Patong incidents continue with fight on Bangla. Tourist assaulted by transgender woman. Okay. Two incidents. So the first incident, I don't know. Can you see this? Let me show you the pictures. Oops, my bad. Let me show you the pictures. Can you see that? Is that too small? You guys can barely see that. All right. These are three Indian guys, three tourists from India. You can tell it's raining heavily over there, and they're fighting. Okay. Well, one guy's trying to beat up the other guy while the guy in the middle is trying to break it up. So it's not two guys jumping on one. It's one versus one, and one of them's trying to break them up. Seem like they all know each other. They're all friends. They might even be related. All right. And let me take it back to this screen. So they're fighting each other, and the locals are pulling out their phones, recording. Right. And then eventually, the guy was able to land a punch and knocked his friend out on the ground, and then he was taken over to a hospital. The locals helped him out, called an ambulance, and he was able to go to a hospital to be treated because I knocked him unconscious. Okay. The incident involving the three Middle Eastern tourists occurred on Bangla Road at about 7:10 a.m. So it says, according to witnesses, the men have reportedly been drinking heavily. It's 7 in the morning, and y'all been drinking heavily, right? Or maybe they just kind of pin that on them. I don't. You think they'd be drinking? I don't know how late clubs stay out in Patong. All right. But the only clubs that really stay open that late in like Pattaya, because Pattaya is similar to Phuket a little bit. There's only like a handful of clubs that pay the extra fines to stay open late, to stay open till like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, right? But they don't stay open till 7. Sometimes they're able to get a pass for staying out till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes they come through if they feel like it is like, nope, shut it down. All right. But while, and these are hip hop clubs, this is a hip hop club I'm talking about, Flex, for those that don't know. When you get out of Flex, one of those nights that they stay open, nothing is open for the most part. Nothing's really open like that. So 7 o'clock in the morning, and they've been drinking. Either I'm not buying it, the people are kind of pinning that on them, or there just might be a club that stay open that late, and they were probably on their way somewhere, and an argument just sparked up. All right. According to witnesses, the men had reportedly been drinking heavily. An argument escalated into two of the men fighting, with the third trying to separate them. Eventually, one of the men landed a heavy punch that knocked his friend unconscious, sending him collapsing onto the road. A local resident, Mr. Fissett, captured the chaotic scene on video, which showed the tourist friends unsuccessfully trying to break up the fight. The tourists were eventually assisted by bystanders who helped transport the injured man to Patong Hospital for treatment. The exact cause of the altercation is still unknown. Authorities have yet to comment on the situation. All right. So this imagery was captured by Thai people. Now let me tell you this, man. What I think sparked up this conversation? A lot of times it's over a girl. All right. A lot of times either it's over a girl or some built up animosity, tension between the two has been, that's been brewing for months, even years. And it's now starting to come out when people get some alcohol in their system. They're in a foreign land, they're not in their hometown. So they feel like, okay, if we can let off some steam, none of us will get arrested at home. And it doesn't go on our record. All right. But I always say this: no matter where you are, you should only swing at your fist if you're in a position where you have to defend yourself and you have to guard your life. All right. Don't ever get into a fist fight with nobody anywhere, including at home, especially overseas. Right. I'm in a position now where if you talk crazy to me, man, I'm going to hurt your feelings verbally. Right. But at the same time, most of the time, right, I'm going to walk away. The reason why I'm going to walk away is because it's words, it's their problem. I've already said what I had to say. Let me leave before things go further. It doesn't make you a punk, doesn't make you soft for walking away. The reason why, and I've mentioned this on this channel before, a lot of people who are subscribers that have heard me talk about this, they've heard me talk about friends. Like I have two friends uh, who got out not too long ago during COVID, actually, who did 10 and 11 years for involuntary manslaughter because of a fight they got in. All right. Here you are, you're getting into a fight with somebody that the public claims was intoxicated. Y'all have been quote unquote drinking. Let me put it on a different screen right here. Let me put it on this. Let me put it on this screen. It's a bigger image. He's on the ground right here. Y'all have been quote unquote drinking, right? So you're inebriated. Your brain and your mind is being affected by the toxins that you just put in your body, right? And then on top of that, um, your heart rate is pounding, and it's either fight or flight now because your so-called friend is trying to fight you, and he's probably trying to fight you over something you did or something you said, right? Loose with the mouth because you're on that juice, and your endorphins have been released, and you've gone through all these emotions since you've been drunk. Now it's a fight or flight moment. And when somebody punches you on impact, that further has an effect on the brain. And let's say if you fall down and hit your head on the ground, that can be the final blow right there. Right. And yes, you will go to jail behind that. There was actually a story recently that came out of a brother who was defending his family. A Caucasian man got angry and started attacking his family, calling his kids the N-word, his wife. So he punched him. He was fighting this guy. He punched him, and the punch killed him. And the brother, the husband, the father, the protector, he ended up getting 3 years in jail behind that what he did, even though he was protecting his family. I mean, that's a hate crime. He was protecting his family against a person committing a hate crime on them, and he still had to go to jail. So, this world is designed to where there's a lot of violence, but people will profit off of your violence by sending you to jail, right? They'll collect more tax money from the public by sending you to jail, right? If you lay a hand on somebody. So it's not smart to fight anybody whenever you're traveling abroad. Somebody says something slick, walk away. If they follow you and then they physically attack you, you have the God-given right to do whatever it is at that moment in time to defend yourself, right? Because you're the victim. That's when you can, let somebody have it, pause, when you are the victim. Now, how does that look amongst others? Y'all are fighting. Look at what I'm showing you right now. This article was in my email. That image to the left was in my email. The imagery is, they love to take pictures of that and showcase it to the world to say, hey, these foreigners, they come over here and they're bringing the degeneracy and their hatred and their violence and their anger over here. As if I've never seen a bunch of Thai people fighting each other when I was in Thailand. Right? I've seen a bunch of Thais fighting each other over the years I lived in Thailand. All right. Hell, I've seen a Thai motorbike driver, a Thai motorbike taxi driver, excuse me, shoot another Thai motorbike taxi driver in the chest in front of everybody, broad daylight. All right. So things like this, no matter if it's a foreigner or not, it's always going to make its way to the media. But sometimes they like to put stuff like this out there on the media, maybe because it's been a slow week, or they just want to show, hey, look at these foreigners over here. But these quote unquote foreigners, they don't represent me, right? East Indians in Thailand, they carry themselves totally different than Americans in Thailand. All right. You can even ask the women. You can even ask these hotel employees, the staff at hotels, that they carry themselves totally different. So yeah, you got into a little fight, you punched your friend, and then you got taken to the hospital. If these are people who already have preconceived notions of you already as it is, and then they see this, because everybody's had a fight in Thailand. Everybody of every color has had a fight in Thailand. I mean, you could take a picture of this any given night, anywhere in Thailand after some drinks, right? If they already feel some type of way about you, then this will further prove their point, prove their talking points, right? This will further fulfill their stereotypes about you. Look at them, right? But if you were to record some Thai people fighting each other, and then you put that out there on the internet and make a YouTube video about it, and you still live in Thailand, you would get a visit at your door, right? You would get a visit. So on one end, it's news, but at the same time, it's it's people further trying to push an agenda, a stereotype, an image about people that they really aren't too fond of anyway. Another thing, what are some of the things I've seen people fight over in overseas? A lot of times, especially like in Phuket, Pattaya, Bangkok, it's over girls. A lot of times it is over girls. Or somebody's just too drunk, they're acting a fool, and then they done pissed off a few people that night, the way they're carrying themselves, stumbling, fumbling, knocking people's tables and drinks over. And then you decide to do that to the wrong one, and that wrong one just, they're not playing that night. All right. But most of the time it's over a girl. Okay. Most of the time it is over a girl. I remember one time there was this one guy that a lot of people know down there in Pattaya, excuse me. Light skinned dude. I'm not going to say his name. He's from Louisiana. If you ever been in Pattaya often enough, you know who I'm talking about, right? Very known out there. That goes to 808 and Flex. One night we was in a club, and I so happened to step away. I got out the club to go make a phone call because I was meeting up with somebody so that I could bring him back over to the club. And then I get back, and the energy was different, the vibe was different, and then the homie was gone. People were kind of like gathering themselves and talking about what happened. Well, what happened? So what happened was, there was this African dude who went into the club. I don't know if he brought the girl over there or he met the girl at the club, but he met a girl. He was vibing with her, so he thought, right? She probably thought, I don't know if they were exchanging uh price to action, or in his mind he thought, okay, you know, she this off the humble right here. You know, I got it off the dribble. That's this. I got it off the dribble. I ain't have to spend no money. This, that, and the third. She liked me. I guess that's what he thought. And you know, now, especially in Asia, you got a lot of women where you're talking to somebody, you think it's off the dribble, but and they tell you like they're not a working girl, but really they are. And you know, they don't that's kind of like their angle now. It's like they're a working girl pretending they're not a working girl, hoping that you give them money anyway. But anyways, I don't know what kind of girl he met, but he was talking to some girl, vibing with her. I think he left to go use the restroom. Then he came back, and the girl started talking to the light skinned dude, right? She just started approaching the light skinned dude, talking to him. So the African dude come back, and I guess he sits back in the cut, just looking like, damn, like this. He talking to her. Now the African dude is like, we all kind of know of each other in some of these spaces, especially if you frequently go to these clubs. You kind of seen familiar faces in the clubs, but they didn't know each other like that, right? They didn't personally know each other like that. But it's kind of like we in the same area, the same section. If you see this girl talking to me, I guess in his mind, he felt like you should know that she's off limits or whatever. I don't know. So when I guess at some point in time when the conversation died down, or when she kind of, I guess she might have talked to her homegirl, or she might have stepped to the side or whatever. When the opportunity, when the moment there was a break between them speaking, the African dude came back and when made a beeline over to the light skinned dude and got close to him, stepped to him, and said, "Hey, you know." Kind of getting upset, going off, talking about, "Hey man, the hell you talking to my girl for?" And this, that, and the third. And from what I heard, Buddy was like, "What?" And then the African dude was started to get a little bit more aggressive, getting louder. The African dude, he started getting a little bit more aggressive. Hold on, let me get some water. Hold on. Excuse me. So the African dude, he started getting a little bit more aggressive. He started getting louder. And then the guy that I know, just hearing him and hearing him out, listening to what he's angry about, it's starting to piss him off even more, because it's like, where we from, we don't really trip off no girl. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so hearing him getting angry about the girl coming up to him, talking to him, thinking that that's his girl, and we in a club, we in Club Flex, like all these women are hoes up in here. And I don't know you, I didn't see you. So, but that's what's running through his mind at the moment, but he doesn't say anything. He's just like, the more he keeps talking about this, and this is the reason why he's mad or upset, it's pissing me off even more, right? So what does Buddy do? Buddy was just like, man, he didn't say anything. I'm like, he just he gave him the raccoon eyes. That's what he did. Right? Popped him like 2-3 times in the face. He fell down. Security rushes over. By the time he tries to get up, both parties was held back. So dude didn't even have time to really get his lick back. And they threw homie out the club. And he's like well known in the club, but they had to throw him out anyways. And even though I felt where he was coming from, right? you got to be careful because you never know if that punch could just be the message to send to somebody. It could be enough to send a message to somebody. Okay, this dude ain't playing. He like I just can't run up on him and do this, right? It's a thin line between sending the message that you need to somebody versus it being a death blow. Understand? So you got to be careful. Okay, you really have to be careful out here with fighting. All right. Just like the live stream I did the other day, I wasn't for or against what those British brothers did, but you have to understand that putting your hands on somebody, it's a thin line between sending a message versus being a death blow. Because people, no matter whether they're local or they're foreigners, they are going to fuck with you overseas. And you got to pick your battles. You really got to pick your battles. And then when you do something like that to a local, you got to understand that, hey, if there are people around, this might piss them off and they might jump in. There might be a mob of people after you. It depends on how they feel that day because, you know, I know people who are older than me that have been traveling to Thailand since like the 80s. And that's what all of them had told me. They said, man, if you're ever in a situation, just run because you could be on the right for defending yourself and fighting somebody off. But the locals, they don't care about that. They just see their own getting trampled on and everybody jumps in. That was kind of the spirit back in the 80s, the 90s, and the early 2000s. Now it seems like it's a little bit different, but that don't mean that you should be going around just hitting people. You know, sometimes you still have to go the other way. All right. Anyway, let's go over to the second story right here. All right, let's go to the second story right here. So we got another passport, bro. East Indian. This person right here is a ladyboy. All right. This is a ladyboy. This ladyboy, I don't know what photo is. Was this at the doctor's office or was this at the police station, whatever? But this ladyboy beat this dude up right here. This is an Indian guy. They said that the ladyboy hit this dude on the head with a phone. I don't know, man. This person hit you with their phone. What do they have? A brass knuckles case? Damn, like that don't look like you got hit with a phone. So a 27-year-old Indian national suffered an open. This dude was 27. I can't see his eyes, but even though his eyes are blurred, that don't look 27. Anyways, he must be a smoker or something. A 27-year-old Indian national suffered an open wound after being struck on the forehead by a transgender woman wielding a mobile phone. The incident occurred near Patong Police Station. Damn, this happened right in front of the police station at about 6:30 in the morning. Why is all this violence happening so early in the morning? I'm not familiar with Patong. Are clubs and bars that open, are still open that late? The Indian man told police that he had met the woman, the transgender woman, Atit Sangsuk, near Soy Bangla, same place where this happened. So while this was going on, around the corner, this was going on. The Indian man told police that he had met the woman, okay, near Soy Bang Line, and they later walked together to the Dang seafood restaurant on Ratatit 200p Road. Now, what is a seafood restaurant doing open that early? Restaurants really aren't open that early in Thailand. The only restaurants that are open that early are it's like Western restaurants like Starbucks, McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? Burger King, because they're handing out like their breakfast menu. But nothing is usually open around about that time. Like in the West, if you hungry, there's something you can eat at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. Not in Asia. Not in Thailand. Hell, the Asian restaurants out here in the West don't open until like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's kind of weird. The situation escalated into an argument during which Atit struck the Indian man on the forehead with a mobile phone. What was the argument over? So this police lieutenant Wasano Chumi of the Patong police confirmed that witnesses saw the two arguing in front of the restaurant before the assault took place. The Indian man filed an official complaint with the police, and the investigation is ongoing. It is unclear what sparked the argument, but authorities are continuing to question witnesses and review evidence from the scene. So here's the thing, man. Now, for those that don't know, I went to university in Thailand. Okay. The university I went to, I'm not going to say which one I went to, but they, everybody, it was an international university. Majority of the people there, the staff, the students were Thai, of course. Other people from other countries were there. And like I went to school with quite a few Thai ladyboys. All right. In each class, it was a problem. They were having an issue with Thais being friendly, warming, and opening up to foreigners, right? They were having an issue like, hey, we can't get these Thais to open up to the foreigners. So what they would do is, okay, yes, we have assignments, we have projects, we have exams, right? But they were the projects were like solo assignments, like huge solo assignments, like 20, 30-page reports, right? They decided to kind of not so much do away with written reports, but they decided to get rid of certain assignments and started coming up with projects where, we get like 4 or 5 people in a group, and they wanted to force everyone to work with each other, right? So everybody had to start picking a number from 1 to 5, 1 to 6, and then boom. They would divide the students up. You pick a number, then you get into a group. And whoever's in your group, that's who you have to work with. So it was a mixture of foreigners and Thais. Because foreign students, they didn't really want to work with Thais because the Thais were, at the university I was at, the Thais were lazy. I will say that. They'll sit back and let you do all the work and not do anything and then take full credit for it. And that was starting to be an issue. And then when they wanted people to get in groups, there were foreigners that would say, "No, I want to do it by myself. I could do all this by myself because if I get into a group with a Thai person, I'm going to end up having to do it by myself anyway. So why not I do it by myself?" Right? So then they started to say, "Okay, you have to show me what you did so we can grade you on the portion you did so that you're not, everybody's not getting the same grade if everybody didn't put in the effort." All right. So I was in groups with quite a few groups and quite a few different classes with lady boys. All right. I didn't have no issue with them. They didn't have no issue with me. Um, but I will say this: some of them were kind of sassy. All right, some of them were kind of sassy. Some of them were cool, but some of them were kind of sassy. So you got this dude right here who's offering to take a lady boy to a restaurant to go someplace to eat. Right, I'm pretty sure he was paying for it, and somehow they got into an argument. And whatever the argument was about, this person pulled out their phone and struck this man right here. And I'm pretty sure the argument wasn't even that deep, right? It's somebody who, um, publicly is kind of like, well, they're protected because there's so many cases of lady boys not just putting hands and striking men, but beating up women also. um, there was actually a story earlier this year, the same place in Patong back in March, where like two Thai lady boys was jumping some guy, right? What was it about? I have no idea, right? They're over there snatching chains, pickpocketing people, beating up men and women. I remember one time I was walking down Walking Street in Pattaya. I'm trying to get to Flex, and as I'm walking, I see these lady boys walking out of the club, right? But they're actually getting kicked out of a club. They're actually getting kicked out of a club, but they're walking out of this club. It's like 5 or 6 of them walking out of a club. They had this smirk on their face, and I'm like, okay. And then right after they walked out of the club, there was a Caucasian woman, bloodied face, right, screaming at them, trying to get at them, but the bouncer is holding the woman back because she's upset. And I'm like, damn, did these lady boys just jump and beat up this woman right here? Right? I told you before, I've seen men beat up, Thai men beating up women, on Walking Street. So I feel like in this situation, you had a guy who was generous. I don't know what the argument was about, but generous, probably offering his money. And let me tell you, there have been many, many, many times where I'm just trying to have a casual conversation with somebody in Asia, whether it be in Thailand, China, Taiwan, and for whatever reason, they get offended by something you say. It could just be a casual conversation and they get offended. But here you have somebody who feels probably like, hey, I'm going to protect the class. And, he probably said, hey, why don't I take you someplace to eat? And probably as they were going along there, he's like, hey, and after this, we could do this, that, and the third, and I'll pay you this and whatever. Right? It couldn't have been anything to the point where, this man, it doesn't seem like he was putting his hands on you, beating you up or whatever. You weren't in danger. You were just upset. And then you beat this man over the head with your phone. And I see a lot of lady boys in Thailand that get violent with people, right? With the things I've seen, the articles that I've read, it's I've seen it. I've seen people that they get their belongings snatched. I've seen guys get drugged, and some of these guys like him, you know, they're married, they have kids, and you're thinking, okay, I'm just gonna go to the police station over here and file a complaint, and then the media gets a hold of it because the news is slow, and now your face is plastered on the internet. Your name is out there. You're on the internet, and your wife, who you told, hey, I'm going on a business trip, you know, what if she comes across something like this? There have been times where you'll have guys who they'll tell their wives to go on a business trip. They go to Thailand. Uh, they engage with ladies or lady boys of the night, and they get drugged, they get robbed, their wallet's gone, and then they have to make a phone call to the wife to try to help them, like transfer money, send money, so that they can make it back home, right? And probably knowing that you weren't supposed to be, or you probably didn't tell your wife that you were going there, right? Or if you did tell her you were going there, you told her like, nah, it was a business trip, knowing that it's not a business trip. All right. So, I'm glad, this was the only thing that happened to him. I don't wish this to happen to anybody else or to anybody, right? I'm pretty sure it was over nothing. I'm pretty sure, because they don't understand jokes, Western jokes at all. Like you say a Western joke that people would just kind of chuckle in a conversation out west, right? You say that same joke in Thailand, they'll get mad because they don't understand, right? Then they want to whip you over the head with a phone. Man, look, be careful. That's all I can say. All right, be careful. I'm pretty sure this man, like, I don't know if they was going on a date or if he was tricking, whatever you want to call it, when tricking goes wrong. All right. So if anybody wants to call in, chime in, give their 2 cents, go ahead, feel free to do so. Link is right there. If you want to go in further and give your 2 cents on these articles, you can. If not, you want to just talk about something that's on your mind, we could do that. All right. If you want to just talk about what's on your mind, whatever you want to share, if there's any questions you want me to answer, feel free to ask. Let's chop it up. All right. Let's chop it up. I feel good today. The Cowboys, they got their ass whooped yesterday. They got obliterated, all right, by the New Orleans Saints. Damn. Y'all Cowboy fans, y'all gonna have to find a new church home and pray. In Dallas, how you gonna there's so many people from Louisiana that's moved over to Texas. Like, they had a huge parade in the town. They acting like they going to the playoffs or the Super Bowl, or like they won the conference game. It's like it's game 2. That was disrespectful. Dallas, y'all wild for letting them do that. Y'all, man. Anyways, guys, if you could do me a favor, please hit the like button, share this video. Check out the links in the description box below for the Patreon page, the Facebook page. That'll be great. If you want to send a Cash App donation, It's right there on the screen. $ Splash Wave Beats. All right, subscribe to this channel, share, join the Facebook page or the Patreon page. Suit the Man Cub Studios 34. I got disappointed by my home team, the Carolina Panthers, but they benched Bryce Young after that loss against the Chargers. I haven't been keeping up with the Carolina Panthers. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been keeping up too much with them. I know they're like 0-2 now, but usually I watch like 1 or 2 games. I know this. I think the Eagles are playing tonight. That matchup is kind of but I'll still watch it. The Eagles are playing tonight. I'm gonna watch that, but I usually like to watch the highlights. The highlights on YouTube, that shows the whole game. All right. The difference between like basketball and football highlights is that if they try to show highlights from basketball, right, on NBA channel on YouTube, like skipping over 4 minutes to show a key play that you want to show, something out of the norm that you want to show, you skipped over a lot, right? You skip over a lot when you skim past and show 3 minutes later after let's show this play 3 minutes later. No, you could do that in football. You can show the highlights in football and that'll be fine, right? That's pretty much the whole game, right? 6 minutes later, okay, the other team has possession of the ball. Man, like the former team or whatever, maybe the home team, they were trying to run it up the field. Defense was too tough. Possession of the ball for a really long time. Then they had to kick. The other team scored possession of the ball. They decided to kneel. So now they're at the 20-yard line, and that's where it starts. 3-4 minutes later, right? And it's like, oh, okay, like they're moving the game along, but you're not really missing much. Basketball, you got to watch the game to really get a feel of, who's able to hold. You're able to watch somebody's defensive skills. How are they able to defend this player? Can they hold them? Can they not? How are they against, on offense against this player, this team? How is the defense working? Their shot percentage, right? How many attempts this person did this person make tonight? How many goals did he score? Buckets did he get? You know what I'm saying? Like, you miss a lot in 3 minutes. But I haven't been keeping up with the Panthers. I've been keeping up with the Vikings. I might fly to Minnesota this year because I want to see Anthony Edwards and the Vikings. They've been doing the damn thing, right? They've been doing the damn thing. They beat the San Francisco 49ers, which 49ers, they deserve to lose that game. All right. That game I watched yesterday, the 49ers, they deserve to lose to the Minnesota Vikings. It's the first quarter, right? The 49ers are like 4th and goal. They're like, but they have 5 yards, right? They're on the 5-yard line. It's like 4th and goal. It's not 4th and inches. The logical thing to do, just kick the field goal, get the 3 points. No, they went for it. And the defense stopped them, right? And I felt that set the tone and the tempo of the game because who's in your ear? Who's your offensive coordinator in your ear telling you to fucking go for it? No. Kick the field goal. So now you just amped up the Vikings off of what you did, and they weren't backing down. So that was a really good game. That was a really good game. The Raiders and the Baltimore Ravens, that was neck and neck, and they won by a field goal. I thought Lamar Jackson would have got the W because they lost against the 49ers, but that was respectable. But it's hard. Can they make a comeback? Yeah. I like to see the Ravens in the Super Bowl, or at least in the playoffs, because man, like you just had the 49ers in the Super Bowl, this last Super Bowl, and then the Ravens going against, Brock Purdy and the 49ers. I'm like, that was a close game also. That was a tough game also. So I'm like, man, if they can kind of hold their own, because they were in the lead in the beginning last week, if they could hold their own and almost get the W over the 49ers, then I'm like, they should do well this season. But then you lost to the Raiders, and it was by a field goal. Now you got to play 18 games instead of 16. I still think they can come back, but now you're going to have to make some adjustments and work hard. I agree that basketball never includes the builds up to the key place, but football and hockey, in my opinion, gets it right. Yeah, like with football, you don't have to have NFL Sunday Ticket. Just subscribe to the NFL on YouTube and watch the highlights. Watch the highlights. That's the whole game right there. That is the whole game. And it's like usually between 10 and 15 minutes. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they've been doing okay. The Steelers, it's like I've only wanted to tune in to the Steelers because I wanted to see what Russell Wilson was going to do, but he has a calf injury, injured himself before the season started. So it's like I just want to see what he's going to do. But I think this might be his last year, and it's not looking too good. You only took $1 million to go over to Pittsburgh to play for that team. You're sitting on the sideline. You got Sierra. Man, you see, this is what happens when you put your girl back on. When your girl used to be kind of somewhat sort of that chick at one point in time, and then she faded away as she should have because she couldn't sing her way through a brown paper bag. So she'd been gone for years, and then, she did take some vocal lessons, when she fell back. She did take some vocal lessons. Then Future put it back on. Then he put a baby in her. Now you done pipe this chick up. You leave her. Now all the women feeling sorry for her. She put out a few records like Level Up using modern language. And the shit she's singing about is her real life. Then she lands at the time, like, I wouldn't say the number one quarterback at that time, because Tom Brady was the number one quarterback at that time, but the second quarterback, the number 2 quarterback in the league at the time, and he won a Super Bowl, almost won 2, right? Then people following the both of them because the women are watching how you're working this idiot. And they say, oh, man, she got him a good simp, a good sucker. You know what I'm saying? She making him, wait till marriage to have sex. He's spending her money on her. He bought her catalog. Now she's getting them publishing checks from her catalog. Ooh, she got the simp sucker quarterback to drop down on his knees and hand her his wallet. Ooh, women love that. Now you on the decline, right? You on the decline. They only paying you $1 million. This is probably your last year. And you go to Sierra's page, and she got fucking 35.3 million followers on Instagram. I don't even see no pictures of him. She got pictures of her dancers on stage, her kids, her and boss man D-Lo, Chameleonaire. I don't. If y'all go to Sierra's page right now, I don't see no pictures of Russell in the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The first 11 rows, I don't see no pictures of Russell. Come on now. That's disrespectful. I just want to see, I want to watch Russell Wilson, not to see how good he does. I just want to see how he crashes and burns. And this is all his fault. That was a close game for the Chiefs beating Cincinnati because they would have lost if it wasn't for that field goal. Yeah, they I saw that. I saw it. You know what's crazy? Like there's a couple games I watched where, you know, when that pressure was on the line, them field goals, they got blocked. They got blocked. The field goals, they got blocked. I don't have a team. I'm normally not a I don't have a team because I'm normally not a football watcher. I'm normally like a basketball watcher. Right? That sounded weird, basketball watcher, but I normally watch basketball. So, but I stopped watching football back in like 2008 because the game, like, you know, it got so soft, you know, and that's kind of around the time when they was, you know, the whole thing about CTE came out and that concussion film came out a few years later after that. Will Smith playing some Nigerian. Oh, my boy, brother, hey, you have a concussion. You have a concussion. Brother, hey, you have a concussion. Man. So, which the movie had a message, but it was kind of stop trying to get Will Smith to play you in every film. You African. Will ain't got to take every damn role. You have a concussion. But anyways, yeah. There was some good games. We'll watch, you know, tonight. But anyways, anything else is on anybody's mind that's listening? Anybody else? I don't even feel like going nowhere. I don't even feel like going nowhere. Time is flying. What time is it now? Like 2:07, 2. Yeah, like 2:07, something like that. I'm in Mountain Time, by the way. All right. Hey, I want to. How many of y'all follow Flossie Carter? Right. So Flossie, He did a review on that Ninja slushy that's been selling like hotcakes. All right. It's been sold out. And today they put it on their website at like 2 p.m. I bet it's sold out right now. Hold on. Wait a minute. Why is my fucking. Okay, Okay, here we go. Okay, yeah, no, it's stock full right now. It's back in stock right now. So this right here has been selling out. It's been sold out all week. And I saw Flossie Carter do a review on it. I was able to snatch it earlier today. But man, I've been wanting something like this for a long time. And I'm like, man, it's gotta be a machine that makes perfect ice, right? Not a blender. Because blenders, you got to be like surgical with a blender to get that perfect slush and to mix the drinks and everything. This one, you just pour the whatever it is you want in here, and you turn it on, and there's like behind this glass is like a cold meter to the right. And you can set the temperature, how thick you want the slush. Ooh. Because the reason why I'm sick, and I know I always say I don't drink. I don't really fuck it. I'm about to go back to drinking every now and then, right? But Taco Cabana in Texas, they got, they got them good like slushy margaritas, right? So I ordered 2 last week, and them bitches got me sick. That's the reason why I'm sick right now over them Taco Cabana drinks. So I'm like, I really don't like ordering anything. I'm really at the point where I'm like, man, I got to stop ordering things, and you know, stop doing Instacart, DoorDash, or whatever. I just got to go to the grocery store and pick it up myself from now on. Right? And I'm like, man, I don't want to get sick like that again. So, I can make stuff like this, when I want to go back home, relax for a little bit, have me a little drink, do my live streams, play my games, talk to you guys, get loose, pause a little bit. That's what I want to do. I don't really drink that often, but here it seems like you could pour like margarita packs in there. You could pour like a little bit of, I think you have to pour a little bit of sugar, stuff like that, because it'll get thick, and then like it's not that much flavor. So you got to add a little bit of flavor to it. But I saw this review on Flossie Carter. It's like he gave it a 10 out of 10. So, and this whole week I've been watching this website because they said it's been sold out. So you guys need to get it. Superior frozen drink experience. Simply pour in the liquid, select a program, and watch it transform. No ice needed. Oh my God. This is what I want to make over here. But I got to be careful, man. Like I'm trying to cut back on, sugar and drinking anything but water. But it's going to be like a once a week thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm drinking water right now. I don't throughout the week when I'm gone, only drink water. Then I come back, I might, treat myself and have a drink. So this is what I was talking about right here. You can set the temperature to make that shit thick, slush, spiked slush, frappe, milkshake, frozen juice. Oh my God. Man, man, man. It's quick to, you know, this look like, you could invite some people over, just set it and forget it. And it's like, hey, just pour you some. There go the cups right there. You don't have to be stuck in the kitchen and putting a whole bunch of fruits and different ingredients into a blender and then trying to blend it right. And then there's chunks of ice in your cups and you trying to serve, you making a mess. Oh my God. This right here, it's right nowadays. You have to be careful when ordering food from DoorDash in some places. And it reminds me that I got food poisoning when I was preteen, way before that existed. Yeah, man. Food poisoning is no joke. It was at a Cheesecake Factory when I was food. Oh, when I was food poisoning there. Oh, according to black women, you was at that low level ass place. You was at that inferior restaurant. Yeah. When you tell a black woman, like, yeah, I got food poisoning at a Cheesecake Factory. See, that's why we got to go to Ruth's Chris. Don't tell that story ever again. They probably laughing at you. Yeah, that's what you get, getting food poisoning with your cheap ass, going to that undeserving restaurant right there. Raggedy ass restaurant. That's why I don't even ask guys to take me to no restaurant like that. Fuck around and get sick eating that food over there. Yeah. A man try to take me over to Cheesecake Factory for a day. I'll be like, boy, please. And I go right back in the house. Yeah. Hey, man, don't tell that story ever again, especially if there's women around. All right. And you want to take me back over there? Take me to Roof Chris then. We ain't gonna get food poisoning there. Like, get all the way out of here. You dig? Man, man, man. I was standing on a mother corner, you dig? Um, what else is new? I feel like talking. I don't feel like leaving right away. You got people watching and they don't want to say nothing. Oh well. Um, my bad. Uh, what's on? What's out here in Passport Bro Land? Um, what is out here in Passport Bro Land? Anybody got any plans later on this year? I know a lot of people are tired of me talking about, yeah, this year I'm gonna plan this, that, and the third. I don't ever go anywhere. Oh man. Oh, hold up. Hold on. There's a video I want to show you guys. There's a video. Hold on. They got this video right here. Hold on. You see that? When he filed for your visa to come to America, look what she do. She cooking. She doing yard work. She doing laundry, cleaning, folding clothes. Oh my God. Now, if I'm with somebody, you ain't got to do the yard work. You know what I'm saying? But I could see she's like, no, look, I'm trying to, I don't mind. Very good impression right there. Man, no woman I've ever been with in the past could do step number one. Step number one. Me, man, I don't look, man. My mother gets on my damn nerves, but there's one thing I can't say. You know, I can't say my mama ain't a wife. Her and my father, they still married to this day. And everything that you just saw in that video, besides the yard work, that's something my mother does to this day. You know, she cooking every day to this day. Boy, these women today, modern women, they won't even throw bullshit in the microwave for you. They won't even throw a hungry man frozen dinner in the microwave for you. Both y'all could be watching TV, watching a movie or whatever. She get up, go in the kitchen, banging pots, slamming shit, whipping up a bunch of shit, come right back and sit in that corner and eat everything by herself and don't share nothing with you and leave the fucking dishes out there in the sink, on the stove, don't serve you a plate, don't offer you nothing. Man, fuck all that. The Russian spy, it's been a long time, my friend. Thoughts on Trump's recent assassination attempt? I saw it, but I didn't really read into it. Should we go over it together? Is that something we should go over together? Should I do another live stream going over the Trump second assassination attempt, or should I just talk about it on here? Which one? Because I saw it, but it wasn't like there wasn't video footage. Like it was kind of up in the air. Like people were saying different things. I didn't know what to make of it because I'm like, it didn't seem like the internet was taking this one seriously. I don't know why. Hold on. Wait a minute. Oh shit. My bad. I don't know why. Also, I've been listening to Rashid as of lately, based on your mentions. I like his defense on FBA. Tariq, man, he's a genius. He's a genius. He's sharp. He said something to somebody on one of his like Twitter. What is that called? Twitter Spaces. He said something to somebody on a Twitter space that I had to tell to my grandmother's sister a couple of weeks ago. I had to get at my grandmother's sister, my grand aunt, the other day, and I used the same line that Tariq said. Because for those that don't know, I'm half Panamanian. All right, my mother's side of the family, they are from Panama, and I'm not full blown Panamanian. My father's FBA. But for those that know, like I've been not only, you know, I chose a side a long time ago, and I've invested a lot of money into my FBA side with by way of research, movies, and other projects. So nobody could take that card away from me. But man, my grand aunt, like she called me like last month. We was just having a good discussion. Then all of a sudden, like mid-discussion, she telling me how Black Americans are lazy. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, who the fuck you talking to? Is she like 80, 83? Right? I'm like, who the hell you talking to? I could have got real disrespectful. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say what I was thinking, you know. I'm like, who are you talking to? I said, no. So I took this from Tariq Nasheed. I told my grandaunt, I said, no, lazy is you sitting up in Panama waiting for some black Americans in America to build up the wealth of America so that you can flee over here and receive unearned benefits. I swear to God, she had nothing to say after that. And it's normally like she calls me on my birthday. Uh I didn't get a phone call from her this year. She like, fuck him. But rightfully so. Like, I don't look, man, I will cut family members off to stand for what's right. Not for what I believe in, but for what's right. It's right and wrong. And for you to come over here and talk about how lazy somebody is, man, that's come on now. If it wasn't for the lives that a lot of brothers and sisters laid for you, the blood that was shed over here, you fled while the blood was shed over here so that you could be over here and live the life that you live. So I didn't, no, I wasn't gonna let that slide. But but yeah, Tariq Nasheed is a genius. I bet the modern woman nowadays won't even make coffee for us either. Shit. Coffee. They don't even offer you a cup of water. Ooh, and that reminds me. I'm glad you said that. I've had this video sitting in my phone for so long, and I've been meaning to do a fucking review on it. And I forgot until you said that. Where is it? Where is this video? Do I still got it? It was that German chick. But I was like, yeah, she ain't look German. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Do I still got it? Y'all know what I'm talking about? I might have accidentally deleted it. She was saying like, I know I uploaded it on the Facebook page. No, I don't think I have it anymore. I got to re-download it because yeah, here it is. I got it. This one. Can you hear this? Hold on.
No competition out there for me, but let's just look at it objectively. You had this average Black American guy who now was able to choose between what he was dealing with before and somebody completely new. And let me tell you, the moment I stepped into that man's life, he really didn't know how to deal with my femininity because I was not loud. I was not screaming. I was not trying to, be louder than him. I didn't interrupt him because that's not something that I learned from home. If somebody would speak, and especially a man, you would let that man speak and then you would listen and then say whatever you have to say, right? So I was clean. I cooked. He didn't know what it was when a woman is actually in the room asking him, like, do you want something to drink? Before I got myself something to drink. Do you want?
So we gonna, damn, I got a throat. Shit. So I found the video. I'm gonna do a live stream on that tomorrow. I'm gonna do a live stream on that tomorrow. But I'm glad Man Cub said this because she said the black man that she was with, he wasn't used to a woman offering him something to drink before I got myself something to drink. Boy, that hit me in the chest when she said that. Man, that hit me in the chest when she said that. Because she didn't say, She never said the words black woman, right? She never said black woman. She just said, him dealing with me is something that he's not used to dealing with. So it's almost like saying it without actually saying it. But we knew what he was used to dealing with. We could put two and two together. And man, like when she said that boy, my heart stopped. My heart skipped a beat when she said that. Because I'm gonna tell you, I don't want to be race specific, but shit, women in the past of a certain complexion have never, ever, ever done that. Offer me something to drink before they got themselves something to drink. The assassin was white again because, of course. Oh yeah, actually, I saw a picture of him. It's like it's an older white guy. There was actually a photo of him. I heard about that attempt this morning. I didn't realize how many black foreign groups hated us until I watched his content. It's bizarre being an ex-Muslim. I'm aware of anti-blackness in Islam. Thank you for the super chat donation, by the way. I forgot to mention that. Thank you for the $2 super chat donation and the $5 super chat donation. I appreciate it. Another thing I wanted to mention was like I'm back into. I got back into making beats, but it's like slowly. I made my first beat last night after I don't know how many months, and it actually turned out not that bad. So I'm like, damn, if I could make that, if I could make something like that, then and it's only been like, it's been a couple months. I'm rusty. Then I'm like, man, if I just keep at it, I think I could get a buzz back again. I would play it for you guys, but I don't know if it's gonna play because I'm talking to you guys from my headset. And I don't know if you guys be able to hear the speak like the audio from if I play something on here. I might think about it later. But yeah, man, I've been saying like me being like my mom's side of the family being Panamanians, man, I've always known this, right? So that's why I grew up in the South. There were no black foreigners in the South. Like where I grew up at, it was just blacks, whites, and Mexicans. There were no Venezuelans, Ecuadorians, right? There weren't really any like Chinese people like that or Asians. It was just black, whites, and Mexicans. I mean, we would have like Chinese restaurants, right? But at my school, it was blacks, whites, and Mexicans. So I didn't grow up around Africans or Caribbeans. Now like by the time we got to high school, I will say this: there was like this Jamaican chick who got transferred to our school, but I don't think she was raised in Jamaica. She didn't have an accent. Like I think she came from like the East Coast somewhere, and she was annoying as shit. But she kept saying like she was from Jamaica, but I don't think she was Jamaican. And then you had like this African chick who kept talking about how she was some princess or whatever who got exchanged later on. And everybody was like, man, shut the fuck up. Like, you ain't finna pull that coming to America shit on us. But that was about it. I didn't like in Houston, it's like pockets of Africans and Caribbeans everywhere you go. Man, I ain't never met no Nigerian growing up until I moved to Houston. That's pretty messed up for your great aunt to say something like that, but at least you put her in check. Man, I got to. I listened to an interview today, and it was very interesting what was said. Um, it was between Big Boy and G Herbo. And in the interview, G Herbo said he's like, man, his rich friends or whatever, people who are much wealthier, people with wealth that he knows. He said that like the people who are wealthy that were his friends, right? That are his friends, told him, I wouldn't have gotten to this point had I never used the word no. He goes, he said that his rich friends got to the point that they were at because of how frequently they say no, of how frequently they tell people no. And I was like, damn, that hit me, right? And no could be in many different forms. And my grand aunt saying that, you know, saying that to her, it's almost like saying, like, no, I'm not gonna allow you to get that off in front of me. And as a matter of fact, I don't care if we never speak again. You see what I'm saying? I'm not trying to convince her to change her mind or whatever. She 80 something years old. Like, she's stuck in her ways. So I'm not that. And then when I thought about it, man, just within the last 6 months, or hell, in the last year alone, I've had to tell my family no so many times. And they get upset. And I said, I don't give a damn. I've had to tell my mom no multiple times within a year about a lot of things. I'm like, no, 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 I'm not. Man, and you gotta, it's establishing boundaries. All right. Stop trying to make everybody happy around you. Unrelated splash, what's your thoughts on, you mean polygamy? Um, Man, if you got the money and the resources to be able to support that, then go ahead. But if you got 2 girlfriends, 3 girlfriends, I don't care. Salute to you. That seemed like a headache to me, but salute to you, right? I barely even like dealing with one chick long enough, right? My thing is like polygamy. Then y'all all in the same house or whatever. I barely even like dealing with one chick long enough. I'm like, man, I got to get away from this chick, right? Couple hours here, a couple hours over here, and recharge, and then go back home by myself. That's my idealistic view of polygamy, right? But you a strong man if you can carry on polygamy all in the same house. That shit sound like a fucking nightmare. Especially with the kind of woman this woman was talking about right here.
Something to eat. Before I started to eat my food, I would ask him, do you want to have a bite? I would come out of nowhere and just have a fruit bowl and just offer him some fruit. He didn't know none of this.
You see, the majority of women that the guy she was talking about was used to dealing with, I'm not getting to no polyamorous relationship with nothing like the women she talking about. Now with a woman like her, yeah, but I'm not no. But I don't have anything against that. But if y'all having kids, man, hopefully y'all keep it together. Because Cam Newton, I think he said he had 8 kids, about 4 or 5 different women. And he's like, he want more. And in the comment section, black women was talking about how he just created a whole bunch of single mothers and single parent households. I agree with that, but it's kind of like, look who's talking. You know what I'm saying? Look who's talking, even though I do agree with what they're saying, but uh because just because that woman said that comment doesn't mean that she was a single mother. She probably didn't have kids. But I'm just talking about in general, the face of single motherhood. It's like, look who's talking, but they all right. So, but you know, you working, you operating a forklift and and a pallet jack, you know, and you can maintain a polyamorous relationship, right? And y'all splitting bills 3 ways, and y'all cool with that, man. I'm all for that. You know, just don't leave them kids alone in a single mother household. I saw that video of the German woman, however, white woman is still played out. I don't even know. I don't know if there's. I don't like that whole term of who's in or who's not. Oh, dark skinned women are in. Oh, light skinned women are in. Oh, white women are in. Asian women are in. Nah, don't set trends on women, right? Set trends on the game, not the women. Um, it shouldn't matter what race the woman is, but that woman who's talking, but see, that woman who's talking, she's talking a good game, but I could hear the aggression in her voice, right? I can hear I know what she listens to when she works out, you know. She listening to that ratchet ass shit. It sound like it. Her voice inflection sound like she listening to a Boss Man D-Lo, right? Motherfucking Sexy Red and uh who else? Listening to them drill rappers from Chicago. She sound like she listening to that shit. So it sound good, but I don't trust her. Anyways, make it your damn self. Yeah, that's how it is. Damn, baby, you ain't gonna fix me nothing. No, make it your damn self. All right. A lot of people don't know, like, man, I'm a loner. So me being alone, like it's like, yes, I finally get to be back by myself again. When a chick acts like that, like real selfish and don't understand the concept of teamwork, it's like, hell yeah, I get to go back hanging by myself again. Yes. All money in, no money out, like Nipsey Hussle. Fit Fearless is Nigerian. So, no, it ain't surprising. It ain't surprising. I remember the first time somebody told me about him. I'm like, man. So he showed me his YouTube channel. I'm like, oh yeah, that's an African right there. Pause. But I'm like, that ain't a Black American. I could tell. You ever dated the women in NYC? Hell no. My whole family from NYC. Why would I date them? I was raised by women from NYC. Hell no. One woman, many men. Yeah. Muhammad had about 13 wives. What happened with girl you was dating here in USA from whoa, 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 whoa. Uh I just gotta my bad. I didn't mean to showcase that comment. I read it. I'll answer your question. I didn't mean to show that comment on the screen. All right, because I like when we first started dating, um, I got in trouble, and it was the wrong thing for me to do. Right, that wasn't cool what I did, and I apologized then, and I still feel bad now. All right, but I saw no, it ain't your fault. It's my fault actually. It it's my fault actually, because I'm the one that put the information out there in the first place. So it ain't your fault. No, it ain't you. Yeah, but what happened? We're not together anymore. Um, we went our separate ways. It's we went our separate ways last year in December. Then tried to see if we could work things out back in February, and it just it wasn't working out. All right, um, so we first split back in like 9 months ago, and we saw each other again. It was cool because she brought a dog over. Her dog was very very happy to see me, right? I missed her dog also. All right, that her dog was like one of them dogs that it's like, damn, I wish I could. You know how they clone dogs, right? I wish I could have her dog's DNA and clone her dog, and be able to have that type of dog and that same type of dog forever and ever. She was a very nice dog, a very loving dog, right? But it was good to see both of them again. But it just, I'll just keep it respectful and say things just didn't work out. I wish her the best, and I hope that, you know, I just hope that, she's happy. I'm happy. So, and happiness can be in the form of, you know, working on yourself or being with somebody else. I know we all, you know, want to at some point in time want to be in a relationship, or whatever. However, I just hope she's happy. But nah, we're not together. All right. Yeah, that's crazy. This is my first time actually speaking on it. But I don't have any negative things to say. I don't even want to give any information, any details onto what led up to it. It's just, you know, we're not together anymore. That's it. We just went our separate ways. And I don't I don't talk about it on here. I don't never even talked about it on the Patreon. I just never talked about it. My mom was nosy, asking me what happened, and I told her straight up, it ain't none of your business, right? And now, you know, so I haven't even talked about it with anybody actually. But no, we went our separate ways. Um, this woman found a dead rat inside the bread she bought from a supermarket. Damn. Wow. Oh my god. Yeah, man. I know she about to she about to she about to start a podcast. What kind of dog was it that your girl had? It was like a mixed breed of what's that? That bull. It's mixed with like a bull terrier. Um, it's kind of. It was a white dog. Hold on. Oops. It was like a. Hold on. Mm, it was. It's kind of a mix. It was a mix, but it was like it was. It's a mix between like a bull terrier uh and some other things, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Uh, I can't even. But it was an all white dog. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at a picture of the dog. Well, not her dog, but the breed of the dog on Google. I'll give you like an accurate. Like a Scottish Terrier. Or what is this one right here? Um, kind of looks like a. It kind of looks like this one too. A doggo Argentino. Yeah, it kind of looks like a doggo Argentino. That's what I'm reading. What you think about Yvette and ADOS? Or you only rock with FBA? Man, I'll just keep it FBA. Keep it simple. Mr. Whiskers. Bull Terriers are cool dogs, but my family is a French Bulldog. But I have to tell you this that Frenchies are pretty stubborn. Okay, nah, hers wasn't a Frenchie. It was like a doggo Argentino. That's what I'm looking at on the screen right here. Kind of like that. Very, very nice dog. As a matter of fact, I was looking at pictures of her dog this morning. Like whenever I would leave or we would leave, her dog would like make this sad face. She would cross her arms, lay down on the floor, cross her arms, and then put her head down and make this real sad face while she laid her head on her paws as we would leave. But um no. But then like if she hadn't seen me in a while, like, she would literally jump on me like 12, 10, 12 times in a row. It was a big dog too, so it's like that's how happy she was to see me all the time. Dog Argentinos are pretty cool dogs, and they're capable of taking on boars. Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to get a dog, but it's maybe eventually I'll be able to um Maybe later on down the line, I'll be able to get one. Other updates that I want to give is like I want to move. I want to move. I have my eyes somewhere. I just have to go visit that location. I don't like my apartment complex. The staff, you know, they're forgetful, and it kind of just the women in the front office. They're friendly, they forgetful, and they don't really look out for you. We don't really ask for too many favors. And I remember one time I had a delivery, and all they had to do was just let the person in my spot to open the door, drop off the box, and lock the door. They wouldn't even do that. It was like, we're busy. I'm like, oh, really? All right. And for those that don't know, I'm on Google. I'm like a level 7 tour guide, right? So whenever I leave a comment on a business, they see the orange star and it stays at the top of the comment bar. It just stays at the top above everyone else's regular comments that isn't a local guide, right? And they always reach out to me. They always reach back out to me. I went to this computer store out here yesterday. I went inside. I had to get something. I needed a mouse pad, and I did a little bit of exercising, a little bit of hiking to get over here. I was looking at the time on my computer, which is an hour off, so I got there an hour early. I had to wait. Walked in. I walked all the way over there. It took about an hour to get there. Right, I wanted to exercise, and I get inside, buy the mouse pad I want, go to the front. This Asian dude was marking me up. I was like, hey, can I get a bag? And he's like, oh, yeah, I can get you a bag. It's like $2. I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. I paid it in cash. He goes, yeah, like we can't give out bags anymore for free or whatever. And I was like, why? And he just started cursing, right? Not at me, but just in the conversation. He was like, yeah, fucking Canada, they fucking doing this shit where they fucking getting rid of all these fucking type of. I'm just like, huh? I was like, so I left. I left it alone, but I walked out of the store and I kept thinking about it. I was like, man, I'm sick and tired. Cause when you black, right? Might be wearing a hat, you wearing shades or whatever. Yeah, I know I look cool, but I don't. I want the same customer service that this old white couple over there is receiving, right? So I went back to my hotel and I left a comment. I said, hey, look, I told them what I just told you. And they reached out to me and they was like, look, call up to the store, let us know who it was. You could send in an email right here and we'll get on their ass. Whoever said that. I haven't emailed anybody yet, but every time I leave like a negative comment, if I had a bad experience at a store and I leave a negative comment, they always get back to me. I've done it at coffee shops, you name it. They always get back to me. They always respond and like, oh man, please, we'll make it right, yada yada yada. So, and I got to be more conscious about leaving reviews because I want to get to level 10, whatever the max level is. I want to get to like to level 10. And like I go to these places and I don't even bother to leave like a review. So I'm gonna start doing that from now on, just reviewing everywhere I go so that because I have pictures on Google Maps that have hundreds of thousands of views on it. Like one picture, hundreds of thousands of views on it. And I got a bunch of pictures on there. So yeah. Bro, I'm thinking about becoming a male nurse. They're making bread and recession proof. What you think? Man, do whatever it is that you're passionate about. If you're passionate about getting into the medical field, then do so. The world is yours. You'll get it. You can start off light, start off small, pause. There's some positions in the hospital where just to get your feet off the ground, you could take like a quick course. It don't even cost that much. It could actually get you in the hospital, right? And then, you know, while you're working, you could take other courses to gain more certifications, and then you just keep moving up. You understand? Um, I know you're not going. You didn't mention anything about a doctor, but some people they hear hospital, they feel like, man, I gotta shoot and aim for the moon and pass the galaxy by, you know, getting a doctor job. And it's like, no, man, like, there's plenty of positions. I'm not saying you, but there's plenty of positions in the hospital. And start off at, you know, entry level position, get your certification and just bam, 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 keep getting certifications. And then, you look up later on, it's like, damn, I'm in here because I'm in a field where like I came in as a rookie at the top of my game. And it's like, there's really no room to move up. There is one room, there is one move to make to move up, but that's like a huge hurdle. It's like a huge leap. You see what I'm saying? And that takes a lot of money to get to that leap. And even when you reach that leap, even when you reach that level, it's not peaches and cream, right? So I arguably have to say I'm at the top of my game right now. Um, you know what I feel like doing? I feel like booking a flight to Vancouver right now for New Year's. How does Vancouver celebrate New Year's? I've never seen them celebrate New Year's. I feel like I just need to, man, kind of just like get away. I haven't been anywhere. I haven't taken no vacation. Let's look at flights for, yeah, they up there. It's not bad. Um, about $621. That's not too bad for New Year's in Vancouver. That's not bad. That is not bad. It's not the cheapest flight, but it's not like it's not terrible. Delta, it's 621 Canadian. Oh, that's Canadian. So it's even cheaper. Let me change the currency to the US dollar, but that's without any luggage. It's $457. Air Canada is 611, but I don't know if I don't like WestJet. Air Canada is I should just choose the Delta. 9:35 in the morning to Damn, there's 2 stops. That's a 13-hour flight. One stop in ATL, one stop in Seattle. Nah, I need something nonstop. So I have to go through Air Canada or United. I haven't flown United in a while. I know Delta's better than United, but what y'all feel about United? Yeah, I'm knocking out community college courses now. I'm too old to become a doc. Plus, that's hard. CRNA is the goal. How old are you? I don't. I mean, I met some doctors that were in their 70s, 80s. I know some doctors, they don't stop. They just, being a doctor doesn't mean you gotta be, I mean, you gotta be up and alert, but you know what I'm saying? You ain't doing a full court press as a doctor. So I don't think as long as you ain't bedridden, then you ain't never too old to be a doctor. Also, do you think having OSHA safety manager experience helps you start off high up in trucking? No. OSHA safety manager, that helps if you're trying to get into the oil field or construction. All right. Really, they want people who have knowledge before you get into a manager position, because between somebody, let's say in the oil field, because I got my NCSO certification through, see, America is OSHA, but Canada is OHSA. I believe their acronym is, yes, the Occupational Health and Safety, OHSA, is Canada, while America is OSHA. All right. I got my NCSO through OHSA and this school that was out here in Calgary through the Alberta this one institute that's a highly respectable institute, right? But I have oil rig experience, so I know what I'm talking about, and I know what to look for when I get on the rig. There are people who they'll get into the oil field by not doing anything on the rig. They just come in as a safety manager, and if you're going up against somebody, like if you have the same certification with somebody who already has experience, they're going to pick that person with experience, right? So yeah, I would say it helps in like the oil field, like working at a refinery, right? Like these power plants and stuff like that. It helps there, but trucking, no. Well, yeah, it's doable. I'm mid-30s, but I don't want to do registry. That sounds like, man, you ain't old. You ain't old. That's young for a doctor. It takes 10 years to become a doctor. The earliest you can become a doctor is 28, 29. And who the fuck wants to be seen by a 28-year-old doctor? Hell, you still too young to be a doctor. Like, now, if you like in your late 40s, then it's like, all right, I'll see him. Right? Oh, okay, this is a cool doctor over here. All right. That's the youngest people want to see a doctor, because they want life experience behind your degree and your certification when you're a doctor, right? But a mid-30s doctor, they were like, man, come on, this motherfucker still probably go to parties and stand upside down doing a keg and sticking 4 locals up his ass. I don't want him as my doctor. He's still doing dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's still people doing. Look at Rich Homie Quan. This man still popping these pills and getting caught out there. Rest in peace. But it's like, you still feel like you got that 20-year-old bounce back. when in your 30s. So nah, they don't nobody want a young ass doctor. You still young. You ain't old to be no doctor. You ain't nowhere near old to be no doctor. Y'all seen this lie that's been going around that they said Travis Scott went like he did a show in Brazil. It was a huge turnout. It was like over 100 grand. 100,000 people showed up. It was a huge turnout, and then he they talking about he spent $30,000 on some hoes and left with like 20 girls at a brothel. And they circulating this shit. I'm like, it's not confirmed. It sounds like a lie. It sounds like cap. I don't like when people put stuff out there like that. You should be sued, right? You should be sued. That sounds like a lie. Man, you know, don't do that. Don't do that. That ain't cool. Y'all honestly was considering it, but it would take a long time. The way I'm gonna do it, I'll probably be an RN no matter what. As a foolproof. Now you shouldn't even look that far. You should just start off as what do you call people that draw blood? A phlebotomist or something like that? Yeah. Yeah, you should go to school for phlebotomy and then work your way up. That's what you should do. Don't aim too high. Yeah, just start off at phlebotomy and work your way up. 20 women, $30,000. Yeah, that sounds like that on like come on. And how does word like that get out there? Even if that's true, how does word like that get out there? You can't even have sex with your hoes in peace no more. It's like they they dry snitching in Portuguese. Ooh, girl, I saw I saw I saw Travis Scott. I think if Travis Scott was like a regular dude, if he never was an artist, I think he would be a passport, bro. I do believe he would be a passport, bro. I ain't never seen him with a black woman. Never, ever, ever. Have I ever seen him with a black woman? Not that he has to, but I've never seen him with a black woman before. I just haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. No, sir, I haven't seen it. Man hits me with the don't aim too high. Yeah, I'm not saying just start off light and then work your way up, because I had a friend, he went into nursing and failed everything. I'm not saying you're him, but he wasn't even trying to be a doctor. He was just trying to be a nurse. And I'm like, hey man, them tests are expensive. So I don't know where you're at in life. That's what I'm trying to say. Right? I don't know what you're doing now, but it's like work your way up to where, because my dad, he works in nursing, and he told me like years and years ago, back in the day, like he failed his nursing test like I think like 3 or 4 times, and you gotta that test ain't no hoe. You coughing up like $500-600 per test. You dropping racks on a test if you can't pass it the first time. That's what I'm saying. But if you got it like that, go ahead. Even if it's true or otherwise, that's Travis Scott's business of what he wants to do with his money. Yeah, man. Like, so what? Like, he ain't that what you supposed to do? You supposed to buy hoes and freak off. If you got money, that's what you working so hard for. You see, women, they can't really do that and be safe. You know what I'm saying? Women, they can't really trick off on that level and be safe. You can't walk up to a guy you admire because that's not even in women's nature to do that. I'm like, hey, look, you know, I see you over there. You know, I'm looking at the print. You swinging. You know, you work out and everything. Seem like you're doing well for yourself. How about I give you $200-300 to fuck the shit out of me, and you know, if I like it, you know, I'll call you like once in a while. I'll pay you every single time. If not, then you got your money's worth. Brothers would be like, hell yeah, especially if she decent. Usually women that tricky and they either ugly or they're dumb as hell, right? Because women that are tricking, they trick off on guys they can control, right? Motherfuckers in old block in Chicago. I'm using a neighborhood for an example. Uh, all them dudes that are there going in and out of jail, they bought and paid for and controlled by the women in the neighborhood. All right. Those are the kind of guys that women trick off on. Just violent, counterproductive dudes who it's that have nothing that hasn't really contributed anything positive to society. That's what a lot of women trick their money off on. They don't trick their money off on somebody who's productive and looks decent, that's not going to cause them any trouble. No, they trick off on people that if you at the wrong place at the wrong time seen with this person, you could catch one. I saw the other day there was like a case in Chicago where you know this chick is fucking around with some like rapper who's like a shooter in Chicago, right? He riding the passenger side, she driving around in her, she driving him around in her car. The ops, I ain't using this language, but the ops saw him and they was like, actually, no. The ops was pretending to be his friend, riding around with him in the back of the car, and then he got backdoored. So he's like, okay, I'm still pretending. He still thinks I'm his friend, but we gonna get him. So the dude from the back seat shoots the driver right in the head, unalives her, right? And I guess or either he got out the car. I guess they were dropping him off. He got out the car, came around and shot the girl, then the dude in the seat, or he shot him from behind the car. But either he turned around or he was outside, and this dude, he got shot in the eye, but he still survived, right? He still lived. So another woman who is into guys like that is going to trick off on a guy like that. All right. You know, he's going to find another trick in the neighborhood. While this woman is unalive, you could tell like, these women are middle class working women taking care of these dudes out here. Right. So, women out there, the only people who got something negative to say about it really is the women. That's it. 30,000 ain't nothing to you talking about somebody who got 2 kids with a Kardashian. All right. 30,000 ain't nothing to him. So only people that are hating on them are people who despise tricks, guys who despise tricks, and women. That's it, right? And especially women who like to get on Travis Scott about him not dealing with black women. Oh, he spent all that money on Brazilian women and smashed 20 of them, right? But a brothel is like, they got a management, this is like probably a brothel that's respected, you know, um, privacy, right? For the most part, women, you just ain't running your mouth. It's a respectable establishment that's organized just for the stars. You see what I'm saying? Women, they doing the same thing, but they doing it for guys who are putting shell casings in their car and bullet holes through the door. All right, that's who they trick their money. It's totally different. Yeah, I hear you. I got, man, free time though. Already got an econ degree. What's an econ degree? It's hard though, but I think I might be all right. I hope. Nah, you'll be all right. Yeah, they can't. Yeah, they can't. But these modern women really wish they could. Every time I see a woman online talk about he was easy or he's my side piece, like stop. Yeah, they starting to call dudes hoes now. Oh, that's my hoe. Yeah. Women, they talk about they side dudes like it's nothing on the internet. To her. I really want to donate to a black content creator. Who should I donate to? I should donate to O'Shea Duke Jackson, because he really gave me an alley oop a couple weeks ago. Yeah, he really gave me an alley oop a couple weeks ago. Oh, economics. Okay. All right, man. I'm finna get off of here. You guys be safe. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll talk about the video tomorrow about the German lady. All right. And I'm gonna break that down because I have a lot more to say. She was spitting facts, but I got a lot more to say. So hopefully I'll see you guys here tomorrow. You guys be safe. Take care. Peace.